Hey, what's up, everybody? And let me disable this real quick. I'm here to talk about something that may seem small to people, but I wanted to talk about it because I believe that it's much bigger than what most people think. Of course, what you can see is X-Men, and the reason why I have this up is because X-Men Apocalypse has been announced for a while now that they're starting development on the movie, and finally they got around to show some of the new cast members to the X-Men franchise. And they showed the new actress, not new cast members to the franchise because Storm has been around forever, but they're finally showing who's playing Storm. And the reason why I made this video is because I'm pretty upset with their decision. Simply because I believe the actress who they chose, Alexandra Shipp, does not fit the role physically. I'm not saying that she's a bad actress or that I dislike her because I don't know her and I have no animosity towards her at all. I just believe that was a total miscast. And she's biracial, which is one thing, but I do believe that it does play a factor, because not only does it play a factor physically, but I just don't think it's right for a biracial person to play a person who is fully African. Because Storm, some people have said that she's mixed or some crap like that. I don't know where they got it from, because if you actually read the comic books and you know her origin stories, you know that she is half Kenyan because her mother is a black Kenyan priestess, and you know that her father was a African American. And yes, there are light-skinned African Americans and stuff like that, but when you actually look at her parents in the comics, they are blacks. They are black in the sense that they are mostly of African or Negroid heritage, shall I say, because there's many different types of Africans. So anyways, like I said, she's biracial. Alexandra Shipp, she's biracial. Sorry for the slur. I am tired as hell, man. Yeah, I am super tired. But anyway, she is biracial, and I really don't think that she fits the bill at playing Storm. It has nothing to do with her acting skills. But the main reason, another reason why it pisses me off is not only does she not physically look like Storm or could play the role as Storm physically, there's other, I mean, they're really doing a disservice to black people in general, because here in America, the epitome of black beauty is measured by mulatto beauty. You know, it's measured not only by mulatto beauty, but light-skinned black women. Like, the standard beauty for black women is the typical light-skinned black woman, according to the media here, because that's all they like to portray as black people in our movies and television shows and commercials. They always, every time when there's an African American family, usually the family is comprised of biracial people, you know, mulattoes. And I just don't think that's right. I mean, it's wrong. And, you know, I know that some people, especially whites, will come in here and complain about, or they will say, they'll bring up, well, what about the new James Bond role? When they're talking about hiring Idris Elba, I think that's his name, the actor from the UK, and then also the Human Torch, he was cast as a black guy. My argument is that it's totally different. The reason why is because biracial people have always been casted as blacks, as a typical black person since the 70s. That hasn't been the same for whites. I mean, they only recently start casting black people for white people's roles. I mean, in white people's roles. So it's not the same thing. This is something that blacks had to deal with for the longest of times. I know other people are going to say, well, Storm before was played by a biracial woman. That's true. But that doesn't mean that it's alright. There were a lot of people who were complaining back then about Storm being played by Halle Berry, who is also biracial. I really don't like it because there's so many other black actresses out there who could play the role. And even if they were to get an African American woman who has two African American parents, or just any African with two African parents, and the actress is light skin, I still have a problem with it. Simply because Storm is not a light-skinned woman. I mean, when you look at her, she look like the typical black woman. And when I say typical, I'm talking about the complexion that you will see most black people in. Usually it's dark brown or the lighter brown color. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, blacks, we come in so many different shades. But you guys know what I'm talking about. The typical black, who usually range around that paper bag color and darker. Those are the 90% of blacks are of that complexion. So that's what I mean. And they should definitely cast somebody of that complexion. When they cast somebody as her, I mean, she's too damn light. I mean, and I know I'm not the only one who has problems with this. I mean, when you look at it, it's like I was reading this forum. I just came across this forum. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, these people are debating about the same thing. But when you look at the actress, Alexandra Shipp, she just doesn't physically look like Storm, and that is one of the biggest problems I have with it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, they just really make it seem like here in America we have this problem of always miscasting minorities for some reason. It just doesn't happen to blacks. It also happens to Hispanics and Native Americans. They have always been miscasting us for the longest of times. So much so that even people from foreign countries think that the typical African American woman looks like her. I mean, it's ridiculous. I met this dude who, I think he was like from Taiwan or something, and he told me, and this is no joke, I mean, I laughed when he told me this, but he was so damn serious. He told me that before he came to America, he thought that all black women looked like Beyonce, Rihanna, and Alicia Keys. I'm not joking. And he also thought that black women had naturally straight hair. Yes, he told me this. And I swear, I still to this day find it hilarious. But it's sad at the same time because they are viewed as the epitome of black women when the majority of black women look nothing like her. Yes, they may have her physical features, but skin tone wise, she may even consider herself a black woman, and I'm not taking that from any biracial person who calls himself black. I'm just saying that the media, and I'm not even arguing with biracial people, don't take this to heart. I'm not coming at you, I'm not coming at her. I have biracial brothers and sisters myself. I have 2 sisters who are biracial and a brother who is biracial. They're all younger than me, and I love them to death. But the problem is Hollywood. That's why I believe that black people, black women, all people should definitely be against this. Not against the actress. Do not confuse that for a second. I'm not against her. And I want her to find work. And it just sucks because, you know, they kind of got the worst of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? And I'll talk about that, you know, in another video about biracial people and how they have to deal with a lot of bullshit, you know, from both ends, from whites and blacks. But, you know, I don't want to take anything from her personally. I just don't think that she's fit for the role because she's not representing what Storm is. She's not representing her. And yes, she may be a great actress. I'm not saying that she's not. But I believe that this is a total miscasting. I mean, seriously, how would... you know what I'm saying? Like, how would they feel, I mean, if they cast Wolverine as a biracial actor? I believe that a lot of people would be pissed. A lot of people would be pissed because they complain all the time when, you know, I'm not gonna say they, but people complain all the time, like when Human Torch was cast as a black guy, which I think they shouldn't have did. I thought that was fucking stupid because that totally went against the origin story. And in the new Fantastic Four, the movie sucked, and they changed the origin story, which was fucking stupid, man. I do like the creativeness of how they became the Fantastic Four, but you know, changing the whole race thing and then adoption and all that bull crap. I mean, it was just stupid. But yeah, I mean, they would complain if Wolverine was, you know, casted as a biracial person and all this other stuff. So, oh man, that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, I'm totally against this, and I think that everybody should be against this. Not just because it's my opinion, but because this is a bad casting. I mean, it really is. I mean, this was the same thing that happened to Aaliyah, the Aaliyah biopic, and it's funny because she was the same actress who played Aaliyah in the movie. Aaliyah wasn't biracial. Like majority of blacks, she was multiracial, not black. I mean, she wasn't, you know, biracial. But then people go into the argument of what is black, because all blacks have some type of mixture, and there's different variations, different degrees, and there are biracial people who consider themselves black. There are, you know, majority of biracial people do consider themselves black. But, you know, that's another argument, you know what I'm saying? But just for this role specifically, Storm is what I call a typical, she's the complexion of a typical black woman, and she's not biracial. She's not light-skinned, she's not biracial. So that's my whole argument. My argument is not what is black, but just the bad casting. And that's all I have to say. You people have a beautiful day. Goodbye.